Hey there. I'm traveling all around right now, and I wanted to share something with you. Something that I don't know if I've emphasized enough how important it is. It's decide in advance. You know, if you want to create a life that you're proud of and really look in the mirror and say, like, I'm doing good, I got this. Well, this is a very important principle. And where a lot of achievers like us get stuck is trying to be perfect, try to go 100% all the time. Now, there's a natural rhythm to everything in life. The tide comes in, the tide goes out. The sun goes up, the sun goes down. And the more things you look at, you realize nothing is constant. Everything is changing. This is a principle of the universe, a principle of nature. And we are part of nature. And I think sometimes as humans, we forget this. And so this principle today I want to share with you just briefly is decide in advance. Instead of saying I'm going to be perfect all the time, which is unattainable and only stresses you out and makes you feel like you're less than worthy of life's rewards, decide in advance. So if you're going to eat something like, say, cake on a birthday party, now when someone's going after a goal, they think like I have to do everything right, I got to follow the rules. But you got to make rules to allow you to not be perfect. And there's a benefit as well too, but I'm not going to talk about that now. But right now I want to tell you this one thing. So if you know you're going to travel, like I'm traveling right now, but before I left, I have a plan. I have a system when I travel because I've traveled so much over the years. But when I first started traveling, I was all over the place. I falling apart. I wasn't doing well because it was so intense, and I had to figure it out. And so anytime you start something new, you're going to suck at it. We have to all realize that. And sometimes we get to a certain age, we're really good at some things. We're successful. We're perceived as being successful by ourselves and others. And so what happens is we don't want to try new things. So, but the way you get around this is decide in advance. What are you going to do? How are you going to be? So you want to set the stage for what success looks like for you. So one thing is what I call free meals. Now, back in the day, it was very popular to do what we call cheat days. And cheat days were like, hey, you follow everything as best you can for 6 days, and on the 7th day, you eat whatever you want, as much as you want to do it. And that one day of doing that had some repercussions. One, you felt so terrible for several days after that you didn't train very hard. And sometimes that cheat day would go into the next day or maybe more longer than that. And the other thing was, it gave you an unhealthy relationship with food. Food became a thing that was scarce. And when something becomes scarce, we tend to become emotional about it. And emotions affect our behavior. And so a better way of doing it is not to call them cheat days and not to do it for the whole day, but to have what we call free meals, because you have decided in advance what is success. So what I usually recommend people is to take 3 free meals a week. So anytime, anywhere, I wouldn't do them all one day. I'd space them out, but I'd look at the week in advance and say like, hey, we got a birthday party on Friday, so maybe that would be one. On Sunday, I just wanna have one, and I wanna have ice cream that day, whatever it is. But just kind of look in advance, and just look ahead, and then decide in advance what you're gonna do. And so you don't have to have all 3, but I would just say I wouldn't do more of that, and that's success. Because right now, you know, I was talking to a client the other day. They don't eat anything good. This is an athlete too. So this is a friend and a client. So it's tricky because like this is someone who's very successful in their chosen profession, right? And they eat just absolutely horrendous. You'd be blown away. But if you've seen this person, you'd be like, man, they're really fit. But they might not be healthy, right? So the amount of candy this person eats is insane. And so we want to make sure that this person doesn't get injured, that can play out the whole career and not limit themselves in any way. So we got to get some nutrients in the body. So all I said was like, hey, 1 meal a day, make it a healthy one. And here's the guidelines for it. Sorry, there's an airplane going overhead right now. Hopefully you can hear me. But basically you want progress, not perfection. So this is a very simple thing, but I want to emphasize the importance of it because sometimes when we hear something, we let it go in one ear and out the other. And what happens is we lose the lesson in it. Because the most powerful things in the world, the most effective things in the world are very simple, and they're not really sexy. And when it doesn't have that appeal, a lot of times we just overlook it. So I just want to emphasize how important it is to look ahead and decide in advance what success looks like for you. Over the coming weeks, I'm going to be sharing you more examples like this, but I want to plant this seed with you so that you really understand it. If you have any questions, just hit me up anytime. All right, my friends, you're a lion, not a lamb.